How do folks, how you doing? Just a quick one. I just thought we'd do a bit of a cap straight. I only come on here just to make sure I'm wearing my cap okay for when I meet people. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a bit of a recap and probably a bit of a bounce around as I do. Everybody who knows me knows that I don't write things as such to follow. If I did, sorry, something's got my attention. It looks like fucking Night Riders behind me. Excuse me. We're going to find out because I'm going to have to let him pass just to see what he is. I have an interest in nice motors. But anyway, as the time's going on, the agenda's slipping in. Everything seems to be going to plan. What we got here, let's see. Oh, beautiful Aston Martin. Britas, the registration is, so I presume it's something to do with the Britas water filter empire. It's certainly a car of a gazillionaire, so there you go. Funny what you see. I ought to pull him over and ask him why his fucking filters don't take fluoride out of the water, shouldn't I? But anyway, all part of the agenda. As the world is wonky, as we know the world is extremely wonky at the minute, we've got a lot of folks out there that are seriously concerned about the chips, about the vaccinations, about the children, about what's going to happen when they send the children to the indoctrination camps that have changed so very much from the soft indoctrination that they used to do. As folks are going to find out if they are cruel enough to send their loved ones into that sort of world. It's a sorry old state that we've found ourselves in, but the world has actually shown itself. I don't believe for 1 minute, and I think many out there are thinking that this is all new, that it's just been taken over, and I don't believe for 1 minute there's much that's actually escalated other than the veil has been lifted from what they're really doing to us at all times. There's no difference between this round of vaccinations. Well, there is a big difference, I'll go into that in a second, but as far as the vaccinations, having a vaccination is concerned, same time, every time there's some scare, SARS and H1N1 and all that shit, everybody runs in for vaccinations, and every time it escalates, they take it up a notch, and they try to capture even more people. Well, this time, it's the end of a 50-year plan. This one was always, well, I say it was always going to do what it's going to do. It absolutely is. Were the other ones just to get you used to having the vaccinations for this time? Most probably. So it's a funny old way the world actually works, and not many folks really know how the world works. Most folks are still wrapped up on the fact that they have a prime minister or a president, and that is the leader, and they make decisions, and they have said so this must be. The world really doesn't work that way. Those prime ministers and presidents and all of the world leaders you see, to my knowledge, there's 21 levels of power above them. Now, whether you're prepared to accept that or not, I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. But if you can accept there is one level above them, you must accept nothing is coming from them. Nothing. Now, it doesn't matter what mockery they make of people time and time again with these elections. It's absolutely bizarre that time and time again new ones will be voted in and they're hated, and everybody screams and shouts at them and wants them removed, and everything's their fault and the decisions they're making. And then they go, totally forgotten by everybody. The new one comes in that everybody's, yes, this is the one, this one's going to make the difference. And then a year later, all the hoo-ha starts again. What short fucking memories people have got. What short memories. It's absolutely bizarre for somebody who's been woken as long as me, and I'm sure there are many others that have been woken just as long and longer than me that see this as well, and just cannot get how they do this. Oh, I'll pull him back up with that Britas DB9 or whatever it is. It's a very beautiful D-badged Aston Martin. You know, have a look at him. So anyway, Data Protection Act. We're in public. So, where were we? Bouncy bounce. I don't know, so I'm going to just bounce and maybe I'll land on it. I don't know. But where we are with the world, I think people are starting to see exactly what's happening. Sorry, I am just getting out of a busy area. I think people are starting to see what's happening, where the world is actually going, where people like me have been trying to tell people for a very, very long time where it's going. And we've been trying to tell you the solution all along. However, the solution that we were trying to tell you is null and void now. It truly is. That was for when people had an opportunity to get up off their arse or just to fucking listen. It's absolutely ridiculous that real intelligent folk just laugh and close down to what is right in front of their face when somebody tells them. Crazy world. But this is cognitive dissonance, and it's really not an insult because every single one of us suffer from it, just varying degrees. Even me, as a man that's been woken for many years, I suffer cognitive dissonance quite often. I can say many things that are just indoctrinated in, not meaning them to be exactly how you're going to perceive them, but knowing that you're going to perceive them that way. It just is what it is. We've been trained from birth by folks who were trained from birth the lies that we live. It's not our fault that we didn't know. It's not our fault that we fell for it. But once it's brought to our attention, it's our fault that we don't do our due diligence and at least look into the possibility of the truth. What we're hearing, no matter how ridiculous it is, when the evidence of how the world is enacting is all around you, but you're not prepared to accept it. Anyway, we're going to bounce back off that because it is quite a negative thing which people take quite personal, and it's not personal. It's something we all have to get over, get through, work around and deal with. However we do that, it's something that we must do because cognitive dissonance is exactly the means of our acquiescence. That's why we acquiesce. From things that we know, if we apply just a slight bit of that logic and intelligence we have, we know damn well we should react to this and stop it. No, I'm not doing that. And school is a perfect example. Now, parents at the minute are rightly shitting themselves, and if my lads weren't going towards the 30s, I wouldn't be, because I know how to deal with this. But if I had not this knowledge, I would absolutely be crapping myself. You know damn well the schools are infiltrated now. You know that the 5G towers have gone up on them. You know they're going to cause cancer if you've done any research into 5G whatsoever. It's in case law. It's been in court. It's been won. It's been beat in court. It's absolutely law and set in stone. Whether people don't want to believe it now or not is just cognitive dissonance. So you've got that side of things. You've got the fact that they are going to vaccinate without your permission. It doesn't matter what you say. I do not consent is not the way not to consent. And I know it sounds fantastic, it really does, but it's not effective, and it's not lawful, and it don't work. So no matter what you're trying, unless you're prepared to actually go through the roles of removing yourself from their system by whatever means you can or you can find, that's none of my business. I do this, but I don't push for this, and folks who know me know I've been sorting out paperwork on sovereignty for at least 6 months, and I do not ever shout about it. I don't advertise it. I don't ask for people to come to me. That is not what it was ever about. The reality is, if you don't do something, and I've done many videos trying to tell you, my old channel that got closed for telling too much truth, told you literally everything you needed to know. But if you don't do something soon, you are so fucked, and you must know this. You know it in your hearts. They are going to vaccinate your children, because I don't consent isn't going to cut it, and your children are going to be there, because no matter what you know about school, you're going to take that option over all of the other things that you're going to think, I can't afford not to, I can't afford for one of us not to go to work, or I'm a single parent and I can't. There's many excuses. But, oh wow, Ferrari, someday today it is. There's many excuses. As you can tell, I live in a shithole of end of the country, so we don't see these sort of cars very often. You people down nice places might do, we don't. But here we go, I've flipped again. Ching ching, monkey mind. Yeah, so anyway, you've got your choices. You either get off your arse, start learning something, start doing something, start talking to people, start asking people, what the fuck can I do? You've got to do something, because the way I see it, the world has been programmed, the people have been programmed in absolute, just to acquiesce to absolutely fucking anything you don't like. You let it creep closer and closer and closer, and again, it's not an insult, it's how we've been created. This is part of the programming that's been instilled in us from birth, and more so over the last few years, where the programming has intensified so bad, and the court of public opinion has been formed and primed, ready for utilisation. Everybody's disgusted and offended. So whatever you choose to do, you will be wrong. And you've got to understand that, because that's the reality. That's what they've created. You send your kid to school. Well, I won't even say child abuse. For knowing what they're going to do there, the segregation, the mindfuck, the lies that they're going to instill into the children, and you know this, and unknown toxic chemicals. Well, you acquiesce all you like to that. And I'm biting my tongue not to even tell you what I think of you if your child goes back to school knowing what's coming. But the very fact I'm biting my tongue tells me you're thinking. Now if you're sat there thinking right now, and that thought process ends up being, but I've got no choice because I'm saying I got to go to work, or I've got to do this, or I've got to do that, then you really haven't looked what the New World Order is. Because little bit by little bit, we're being shown that we must cling on to hope on something. It's like the lockdowns, the jobs, we must cling on that we get back to normal and we get outside, and we cling on to these hopes that we can do things that we're perfectly entitled to do. And we're clinging on to the freedoms that are going to be taken away. Just not yet. Not until what they have achieved, or what they wish to achieve, has come to fruition at every step and at every level. And I assure you, the best minds in the world are working with unlimited funds to work out exactly how to do this on a tiptoe sort of regime, where you won't notice each and every level until after the fact. And the fact is there. The world is about to change. Now when they've finished doing what they do to your children, I absolutely guarantee you, in the 5G world, what is left, there will be no schools. And there's enough evidence out there to show that they're all primed and ready to start up with virtual teachers on 5G. No reason for schools in the New World Order. No reason for doctors' surgeries. No reasons for any interaction. They're shutting down personal interaction down. But they're doing it in a tiptoe. So it starts with segregation. It starts with vilifying each other and making everybody be afraid of each other. But this is where it's going. Now if you're going to acquiesce at every single level, I can't even picture, even though I know what's coming, I can't even picture what the world will actually look like. I really can't. It's going to look like a shithole. It's going to be a full and complete prison. And if you don't believe that, you really haven't been looking. You've not been paying attention, because there is so much evidence out there showing you the New World Order, showing you that it is coming in, and all this Trump bollocks and the queue, and all the distractions that are there for you to acquiesce to. They want you on them bandwagons so you do not and will not react to the reality of what's happening as your rights are being taken away and removed and stripped from you. Now there's the kicker. In my mind, and in the logic and in all of the research I have done, there are two other possibilities here other than what we know to be true, that is being fed to us as absolute truth coming, which it is, and it's going to happen. But one of the other things is something absolutely ridiculous is going to take place. Now, people are going to roll their eyes when they hear it, and I don't give a shit, because a little bit of research again will show you governments have been playing with this for absolute years, and the technology is already built, and the medium for it is aluminium, barium and strontium, which is exactly the medium they've been spraying in our skies for many years now, and that is the 7G fake alien attack, the Blue Screen project. Project Bluebeam, should I say. Whether that's actually going to happen or whether that's part of the distraction, in this wonky world, you won't know until they actually hit it with you. Just because somebody can tell you in absolute something is not true, it doesn't mean they can tell you what is the truth. And you can find that out in many areas of your life, but for the purposes of the internet, you've been taught to ridicule things because of that. Well, they put many possibilities out there and make them all very realistic, and you know damn well that the narrative they're feeding you is false, and you can prove that all day long. That leaves confusion, it leaves chaos. Order out of chaos is the Freemasons' motto. It's their emblem, it's on their emblem. The world is very wonky. You can get into numerology and it will blow your mind. You can get into wordplay. It will blow your mind. Etymology is very deep. Again, will absolutely blow your mind. All of it will teach you that this world is nothing but theatrics. All of it will. So much I can say and so much I could pull up to show, but I'd rather just babble from the heart, and those who don't get it can just piss off, because I've wasted years and years of talking and writing and doing things for people who ultimately just piss off in the end anyway, and stuck their head up their arse, or follow ridiculous paths, jump on bandwagons and go off that way or this way. But ultimately you waste your breath. It doesn't matter how long I do what I am doing for, and how many people see that I am actually the only one who's done anything that actually works out there. Maybe they don't see, maybe it hasn't been shared, maybe people really don't know, I don't know. I don't really care. I evidenced myself as sovereign man quite a long time ago. I travel, there you go, cognitive dissonance. I travel on my rights to travel. I have done now for 9-10 months. I'm in the missus' motor at the minute, but I do it in my own motor, which is an expensive motor. It's not a £10 banger from the scrapyard. I don't do that, let's chance it. I know I can stand on what I've done, my paperwork's in. But not only is my paperwork in, I know to the core who I am. I know what the trust relationship is, I know what the positions in the trust relationship are, I know who everybody is within that relationship, and I know who sets the law within the relationship. Me. So what have I got to fear? A couple of little claims have tried to come my way in the time. Thrown them back to my trustees, which are appointed, dealt with them, standing in honour, absolutely handling my own affairs as you do, not walking into any courts as you don't need to, you don't. I've been trying to teach people for a long time all this that folks must believe is nonsense, while they're going off with these groups and trying these things that just keep failing and failing. But they're sure it's right. That's because the knowledge is right, the information within it is right, but your implementation is always wrong. I've been telling folks this till my fucking throat hurts. But I just keep I still keep seeing them. They just keep praising these ridiculous methods that don't actually work and ignoring the truth. You are the authority, you know this. So if you know this and what you're doing is not working, you've got to understand it's what you're doing that's not working, not what you know. Pains me to see. I know so many people out there that know so much, they've got so much of this in their head, but just cannot implement it. I saw just a quick video from somebody of my past yesterday, and I don't normally look into the videos, but I just saw this quick one, and it was talking about the issues that they're having, and I'm thinking, what, at your level? Seriously? They're affecting you at your level? That just blew me away. And now I know they've got their own thing going on, but we've got not issues as such, it's fairly cleared up, but hey, I know they're too proud to look at what I say, but what can I say? Everybody has their own choices what to do out there. I don't lie, ever. I won't lie. It's just not in me. We all have the ability to be wrong, but I fucking damn well made sure I did first myself before anybody else saw what I had to do. And many evidence that I did this shit, I stand on it, I walk on it. What I did is for me. And because of the conditions that are coming, because of the New World Order that's coming in, and the fact that people are so stuffed up, I evidenced at every level of the government and the judiciary that I had the authority, not only the authority, but the requirement to share my knowledge for the purposes that I am doing. I told them exactly what I was going to do. I told them that I was going to put a fee on some of the heavy work that I do if I'm expected to do the work myself. And I told them why that was, and that was to gain the funds to set up our own private community away from everything, and to remove that from the system. It's all evidence. Just look, handling your own affairs, you deal with it in advance. So that's what I started doing. But it just seems, even though I will tell anybody what I do and I'll talk to anybody, it's not like I charge for information. I don't do that. I charge for my work. It's a fee for my work. Sweat equity, it's an exchange, a remuneration as it is. But the reality is, I'll talk to anybody. Anybody. But all these, what I presume are heavy hitters in this game, seem to be off on fucking tangents. It's weird. Can anybody actually be distracted at this level of the implementation of the New World Order? Or are they leading people off the track? I don't know, because things are coming, the school in particular. We've seen how the government have evidence that they can now destroy your home if they prove by their test that you had COVID in it. Now, if folks don't realise that's the way they can take your property off you, come on. They're going to push people into smaller areas, into built-up areas that aren't done yet, cheaply built, high-rise places into cities that are going to be crammed in. United Nations website's been explaining it for many, many years. Throwing water down me. I missed the mouth, I don't know how that happens. But the United Nations website has been explaining this for many, many years for anybody who would bother to look. Now, I've pointed people to it for forever. Agenda 21. It's on the United Nations website. Did anybody look? Oh, you're going on about that Agenda 21 again. Okay, United Nations, are they a conspiracy theory? They're a genocidal organisation that's only been there for the takeover of mankind. It's the true leaders of the world's right arm, as it is. It's been enabling and creating every scenario that will lead us towards this total enslavement of mankind. All the evidence is there. Nobody looks. So anyway, I talk till I'm blue in the face. I offer everybody many opportunities to grasp the knowledge on how to deal with things and how to move forward. I am a very, very busy man. It drives me crazy what I end up doing though, because all that I am busy for usually is the ones that I've been friends with for a very long time, and yes, I don't begrudge being busy for them, although it cripples me, but I don't see the new ones coming in. I don't see the new ones saying, fucking hell, yeah, I get it, I'm waking up to this now, yeah. No, what I see is, the votes and this and that, and look at America about to do another vote, and it's Trump and somebody else again, and a known parasite, a known paedophile, and they're going to do it again. And then England will have a turn after that, and it just keeps going like that. And we'll get rid of Boris the florist, and the next puppet will get in. And everybody will be happy, and everybody will give that one a few months' chance to see if they're going to make any difference before they call them a liar on everything they do. It's been perpetuating as long as I've been alive, and as long as you've been alive, and I don't even know how old you are listening in here, but I guarantee you, all your life and your parents' bloody life. They've all seen it, they've all known it. However old you are, your parents told you that you know a politician is lying when his lips are moving. Everybody knows, everybody's always bloody known. What the hell? Seriously, what's going on in the world? We do know, we're just programmed to acquiesce. Well, now is the time when acquiescence is going to land you in absolute and total servitude. If you don't get what that is, just research Agenda 21, Agenda 30. It's not just the schools by a long, long way. Most of the jobs, most of the industries out there are going to be obsolete. Anybody who's hanging on to the job, it's going to be obsolete anyway. So if that's your excuse for sending your kids into what is going to be absolute child abuse, in my opinion, then you sleep with that however you can, because you're going to lose your job anyway. All of the industries that you think exist now are going to be gone in the new world. That's what 5G is going to be doing. And if you look at the Georgia Guidestones, it's absolutely written in stone how many of us it's going to be doing it for. That is not a big percent. 5% of the current population. You look under Deagle. In fact, I've posted that thing from Deagle many, many times, of the world population in 2025. I will post it up in Wonky World again later on for anybody who wants to see it. They've got the opportunity to. If you want to acquiesce to it, acquiesce to it. If you don't get what it means, crack on. If you're going to say I don't consent, stick your arm out to a vaccine and a chip when they've pinned you down, you won't need to stick your arm out. But the reality is, you know, the laws have all been put in place so they can do this. Now, why would you think the laws are put in place if they're not going to do this? Now, anyway, I did say the opportunities. The other opportunity where this doesn't happen is if, and this is very quick now, because in a couple of minutes this is going to run out, because I only get a couple of minutes. If they they play out the fake trump card with the Q and fake a battle within, and they win within and take over governments from within, and now show you the new, improved, beautiful government that's taken over from them, but now we own your ass, but we're going to do it nicely. Just sign here. And you will get plentiful for a couple of years. And that's the other opportunity that we've been saying for a while. And I know I bounced a little bit and extended a little bit before I come back to that, but that's the monkey mind. But at least I got it in there, because that is still a high possibility that they fake an internal battle and a win, and they show us a load of crap again. But anyway, folks, I'm going to bounce now because it's time. I'm gone. I've done what I'm doing, getting to where I'm going to go. I'm going to love you and leave you, and hope folks start waking up soon. This is not about believing me or coming to me. This is about learning some shit, learning who you are, learning how to stand on that, and stopping these parasites from doing what they are going to do to you. It is absolutely going to happen, and it is absolutely coming at you at 100 miles an hour. If you keep acquiescing, it's going to smack you in the ass. Love you all, and I'll speak to you later.